2 hours from now, I'm meeting up with my client who it is the second time that you are meeting up. And the first thing that he told me, or rather after the conversation, the first interesting thing that he told me is that today don't be late like last time. Because the first time we met, that is some 2 weeks ago, I was caught up in traffic. And now the thing with business, you can't bring excuses on the table, but instead you engage the professionalism gear, and that's what keeps you on the table. So I was caught up in traffic the last time. And now today, when you know you have a client, there's something you have to adjust whether you are into something else, because you have to make sure your client is convinced, and so long as you know whatever the service or rather you are offering is up to the standard. This conversation rang a bell in my mind because some of the things that were in business industry is that you have to adjust right on time. And that's not the story, The story is, it was so interesting because I sat down and it rang a bell in my mind back then when I first came to Nairobi. Because I have suffered in this city, man. So, the first time I came to Nairobi, I was a very young kid. I was in class 2, right from the village. I was with my mom and my late young bro. And now the interesting is, I was right so fresh from the village. I knew nothing but, basic mother tongue. So I remember back then, in village school, there was a subject where we were taught in mother tongue. I don't know whether you got to school in a school whereby part of the syllabus back then in the lower classes, you had to be taught some things in mother tongue. So that was me. I came to Nairobi. I was around 8 years, if not, I think I was around 8 years. Another funny thing is, I was enrolled in a certain academy school in Nairobi. I was from the village. And now, back then, I don't know whether it happens these days, you find this funny school that are within an area whereby it's just a residential area whereby people have not rented the houses. So instead, somebody who maybe, let me say, an entrepreneur comes in, transform the residential area, just maybe the houses built in a certain plot, and instead of people just renting to live, he turns the rentals into a school, and each room becomes a class. That's how Nairobi hustlers can be. In class 2 is when actually I learned to start reading. Oh, that comfortable guy. When I was in pre-unit class 1, I didn't have much interest. Like, I was that guy who just chilled, came to class to vibe. And I remember there was this time my dad sat me down and he started, teaching me word by word how to pronounce some words and how to read. And that's how I came to learn. And later on in primary school, I became one of the best students. Not even later, as early as I went to boarding school, as early as in class 4, I was topping the charts. So this is the story. I started my classes in that academy school within those rental houses, whereby it was so bad that you find that the classes were so few that sometimes class 1s and class 2s were to be mixed to be one class, and the teachers were only 3 in the whole school, in that academy. So you get the situation how it was. But now the painful thing is, I didn't know how to communicate because I didn't know Swahili, my friend. And now that's not the issue. Me not speaking Swahili is not even the issue. The issue is some city kids are so naughty and so, just so naughty. There's this time that maybe the teacher has not come to class early. And so obviously, and of course there are these naughty kids who, will be making noise. That when they see the teacher, they just keep quiet. And now here is how I was framed for almost everything bad that happened in that class. Whenever the teacher will come to us who was making noise, I'll be pointed out actually, like I was the one making noise. But now, the funny thing is, I was not able to like defend myself because I didn't know how to talk Swahili. The school teacher of that school was my tribe mate, but now even if he knew who I was not able to speak Swahili so that I can be able to defend myself. So it happened several times to an extent that I was fed up, man. And actually, after getting a beating for almost 5 times for not doing what I was being beaten for, actually, because I remember that thing. Actually, that's why sometimes they do say exposure is so important sometimes, because I don't know, maybe the environment where I was brought up, I think it is. Most people were just talking vernacular, like that's the norm of how life is in the village. And coming to the city, I really suffered for that. So after some time, I started, catching up, and within the first few months, I knew Swahili. And the beating made me to, even though it was an indirect, like a stimuli that made me to make my quick steps to, save myself from getting some beatings that I did not deserve. Actually, I came to learn Swahili, and from there, later on, I went back to another very good school, did my class 3, and then in class 4, I went to boarding school. And you know what? Actually, mathematics was one of my best. Actually, it was my best subject from primary school to high school. And the one so-called, stupid kid who didn't know even how to speak Swahili now started, topping the charts in the, the examination scores. And I was among the top, let's say, top 10 in a school of. In a class of, because there were different streams, you find that a stream maybe in class 4, class 5, there'll be like maybe 130 or maybe 90. So I was top 10 most of the time. There's some time I was topping at number 1. And yeah, so here is the story, the reason why I recorded this video. Some things might take you time to cope up, man. But some things really, there's no issue to, some punishment you do get because maybe in the comfort zone. But this is 2025, man. We have to get out of the comfort zone and we have to work towards what we want. Because let me tell you what I was told. If last year was so bad to you, and during the New Year's Eve, you went to, see some fireworks, and you said 2025 is my year, but you don't put in any work, my friend, you'll cry again. So let's work towards what you want in this life. And 2025 actually is going to be big. Like, I do have the feeling like, whoever is watching me this today, before you finish the video, as you're watching this video, man, pause, give the video a like. Let's get to at least 10,000 likes on this video. And also, if you have not subscribed, make sure you subscribe to the MONG'ARE official channel, and that's the support that we need. Let's help each other. And if you have any business idea or rather any business that you want to promote, and it's something that maybe can be done mobile, just type in the comment section below. Let people interact, and that's how we build each other. 2025 is our year to support each other, nothing envious. And actually, when one person wins, a lot of people around him or her actually get to gain, and that's how we build each other. So let's work towards our dreams, man. Comfort zone. You might be a victim like I was back then, and yeah. So let's get and let's work on ways to maneuver through the year. And we know, rather, I do know that you, whoever is watching me, and you believe in God, man, we're going to do this. So yeah, let's catch up next time. That is my short story. Like, I don't know, like I felt like, yeah, there's a time that you were beaten for no reason, man, because of just being, not knowing how to speak Swahili. So that's back then. And yeah, I was in class 2. Exposure.